Okay, good evening, everybody. So I'm up here again. I was sort of like advised to, in as much as I'm writing, I should make sure that I am intentional about doing videos on the side so that um, I sort of mix me talking and me writing as because everybody does not have the time to read and all those things. So I it's hard for me to do videos and talk, but I'm going to try to do that and push myself to come out here because I decided that I'm going to have conversations on things that people don't want to talk about or people shy away from because we are living in a generation where we need voices. We need voices, we need voices, we need voices. Yes, I'm repeating it. We need voices, and in you coming out to speak, you need to be disciplined, and that is something that I've realized in my life that I have to push myself to be, and that is not a difficult that is not an easy thing. Rather, it is something that I'm now beginning to realize that it is going to be tough, but it's something that I have to do because I don't know, I just feel it in me that is what I should do. So I'm going straight to this topic, and I'm going to be talking about sexual abuse. And I feel like this is a very important topic, especially to the girls and to the boys, to the women and to the men. I think it is something that many of us just know, but we don't know the gravity of this particular act. It has ruined life, it has destroyed people, it has promoted sexual sex addiction, it has caused a lot of depression, suicide, and it has killed people. It has damaged girls. It has ruined relationships. It's you can't even begin to even dissect the effects of sexual abuse. I can't even dissect it enough for you because you can you can't even begin to. It is that bad. It is that bad, and I'm sorry I'm getting all passionate, but it is that extreme. It is that bad. Now I'm going to give a case scenario and I'm going to break it down and sort of analyze it quickly. Now, this husband was basically married, obviously. Like I said, he's a husband. And his wife brought in someone to stay with them. And he introduced this young girl that came to stay with them to pornography, sexually abused her after introducing her to pornography. And then when the wife found out, kicked him out of the house. Now they're in the process of persecuting him. To me, everybody is just so much so focused on we need to prosecute him, we need to charge him for sexual abuse, which is the right thing to do, by the way. And if the thing that's even making me angry is he's trying to say that it is his wife's fault for not doing certain things for him as his wife, and so he had no other choice but to gravitate towards the niece, and introduce her to pornography and just sexually abuse her. So it's the wife's fault. Basically, I'm not trying to be biased here, but I'm trying to break things down because I'm talking to my girls who have been sexually abused as well. People that are on this page that know exactly what it means, or people that would watch that know exactly what it means to be sexually abused. You guys didn't get counseling. The only counseling you guys got is life happens to everybody, so you have to move on. In this case, now everybody is focusing on the husband. Prosecute him, deal with him, the right approach. The girl now is just going to be left aside. Oh, sorry, he did this to you, though. Sorry, oh, life happens. We need to move on. Move on how? Move on how exactly? That girl now, the potential for her for her to be to have sexual addiction is high. The potential for her to not see relationships for what it is because she has been sexually abused herself is high. The potential, I'm sorry, I'm raising my voice. The potential for her to also to also be addicted to pornography is extremely high. And when these things start playing out in young girls' lives, when people start finding out, maybe in you find out that your daughter or or is dealing with pornography, or she's all of a sudden confessing that she's dealing with sexual things, parents are shocked, people are shocked. Why are you guys shocked? Sexual abuse leaves its scars. That's what it does. It does not just come and vanish and then you are all of a sudden free. There are things it leaves on you. I'm sorry for screaming. I'm trying to be, because I'm sort of really, really, really mad that we don't talk to our girls. You understand? The best thing is just, well, I'm sorry it happened to you, or in most cases they will even blame the girls. You put yourself in that condition. This is not the time to point fingers. This is the time to focus on the girl, because if you leave her like that, she'll enter relationships and have sex. Yes. She'll be addicted to pornography. Yes. The way she's going to enter into the world of fornication is extremely, extremely high. And when you now hear that she has entered into the fornication campaign, everybody now wants to come and be gossiping. Did you hear? Look at what she did. You don't know the gravity of what that sexual abuse has done to that individual. You don't know. Our girls need counseling. Our girls need avenues where they can sit down and express themselves after going through a traumatic event as sexual abuse. They need to have that avenue. They need to have that access to resources to be able to express themselves and not be targeted and be preached to. I've gone through my own thing too, so you should be able to go through yours, and no. Allow her to speak, allow her to express herself, allow her to walk through the to walk through deconstructing the scars that has happened in her life because of the sexual abuse. That's what counseling is. As much as you're giving advice, you are also creating an avenue for the person to talk, to express themselves, or even be in silence. Everybody now is focusing on prosecuting the man. After prosecuting the man and keeping him in the prison, now the girl is going to be left as what? She's going to fornicate. The high tendencies is really high. She's going to be addicted to pornography because she was introduced to it. She's going to even masturbate. And I'm not afraid of being vulgar here, because I have an agenda here. So if anybody's going to see me with one kind of lens, to be honest with you, my focus right here is not my reputation. My focus is to bring change, and if to bring change and to spark conversations and to promote healing. And if for some reason my reputation is integrated into that, I don't want it to be. My focus is that. So if I'm being a little bit vulgar, forgive me, but I need to talk about these things, because these are things people don't talk about. They know it, they don't want to talk about it because it's considered taboo, and the silence has killed and destroyed so many people. So when we start seeing the effects, when we start seeing the sex addiction play out, when we start seeing the clubbing play out, when we start seeing the fornication play out, when we start seeing the masturbation play out and the pornography addiction play out, we begin to run and talk and talk and talk. Nobody wants to talk about the real issue here, that sexual abuse has its effects, has its damaging effects. It leaves scars. It leaves things in you. It opens doors to so many things. And the reason why I'm passionate about this is because I understand what I'm talking about. It's not just theory work. I understand I understand completely what I'm talking about. That's why I'm coming up here to advocate for it. Because I am tired of the way we are all silent, the way we don't want to talk about these things, the way nobody has solutions, or even if they have solutions, the solution is not the right solution. Young girls are getting sexually abused almost every single day in Africa. What are we doing? Then when they begin to go into prostitution, we begin to run our mouths to talk. When they begin to be addicted to pornography and come out to give their testimony, we begin to run our mouths to talk. When they begin to get addicted to relationships, from this relationship to this relationship, what are they looking for? They are looking for sanity because of the gravity of the damage that has happened in their lives. They are jumping from this relationship to that. I must find peace. If I don't find it in Mr. A, I'll find it in Mr. B. If I cannot find it in Mr. A, I will exchange the peace for sex. Mr. B, like that, like that, like that, like that. And when we begin to see these things play out, we begin to you know just be very insensitive about what is happening. That girl now needs counseling. If I want to, if there's going to be an I wish I can do an anonymous vote where nobody's going to be seen. Your names are not going to be seen, but it's just going to be, if you have been sexually abused before. It doesn't have to be penetration. It can be minor abuse, sexual abuse. It can be minor. If I can have an anonymous vote, I am sure the level of votes that will be on my page, many of you are going to be shocked. Ah, my daughter. Ah, although it's going to be anonymous, so you're not going to see their names. Somebody needs to stand up and speak an end to this foolishness. And when we begin to talk about these things, people don't, for some reason, people are just so, it's almost like, if you don't talk about it, if you talk about it, people are not going to like you. Your reputation is going to go down. I don't care about my reputation like that. I don't. The fact that we are so attached to this thing, there are more pressing issues. There are more pressing situations that we need to address head on, without fear, wi- wi- without 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 what people are going to think about us, and what they're going to say. We know what we have in mind. We know the agenda. That girl needs counseling. That girl needs someone that can sit down in front of her and understand her. Not someone that will preach to her to move on, or preach to her that life happens. So, though, sorry, you have to find a way to. We need someone that can sit down and guide that girl through healing process. Because if you leave her like that, oh my goodness. And to my young girls that have been sexually abused, I'm just going to tell you one thing. You have to fight. You have to fight back for your identity. You have to fight back for your self-worth. And you have to, the way you have to fight, you are going to have to say no to those things that the person has opened you up to. Addictions, pornography, sex, and so many other things. You will have to stand up and fight against these things that are coming your way. Because your self-worth, your identity, the beauty in you, all those things are still in you. They are still part of you. So you need to fight to make that come out and make the trauma regrets for coming your way. That is how much you need to fight back, and you need help. Unfortunately, there's no counseling in Nigeria. It's mostly prominent in abroad, but hopefully that will change. and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully that will change. But you need to fight and you need help. For those my folks that would say, I'm talking about God, I'm talking about God. You need help, and God is the person that can help you. It's going to be a difficult process. You're going to fall, you're going to rise, you're going to fall, you're going to rise. In fact, it's going to look as if that you are falling more than rising, but you are going on that journey. You have to fight for your identity, for the beauty in you, for who you are to come out, not what you've been through. And it's going to be a very difficult process, but you have to fight. Have to fight those things that they've opened you up to. You have to fight it on a daily basis. You're going to have to fight the pornography. You're going to have to fight the addictions. You're going to have to fight jumping into toxic relationships because you want to sort of gain sanity. You're going to fight all these things and resolute within yourself. I'm sorry, I'm looking this way. My door is slightly open because I need some certain level of breeze or air rather. You have to fight. You have to. And as much as you're fighting, remember that you are not what you have experienced. You are greater than that. You are greater, more beautiful. You have, there's more light inside of you that needs to come out. You might say, but Lily, who is going to date me after I've been sexually abused? Who is going to marry me? Who is going to look at me when I tell them my story? Somebody is going to carry your burdens with you, share your burdens with you. Yes. If people are having great traumatic events and they are getting married, you are also going to get married. You need to fight back. You need to resolute within yourself that I am more than what I have gone through. I am more than my struggles. You might say, Lily, people already know my past and all these things. I am telling you right now, your past, in fact, you should treat it like something that should channel you in such a determinous way to your bright future. The way I resoluted within myself was the more things. If you go down to my childhood trauma page, you can see some of the things I highlighted. I didn't highlight everything for certain reasons, but there are some things that I've gone through that, as much as I've studied all these things and I've watched documentaries and I have watched real life counseling sessions, I'm not trying to boast. I'm just trying to say that I'm not coming up here to talk about my experience. I'm coming up here to compile results, research, counseling sessions, and so many other things, and my experience too. But that's by the way. What I'm trying to say is, in as much as you've gone through what you've gone through, you need to resolute within yourself that I am bigger than this. I am a fighter. That's who I am. This thing happened to me. I am going to punch it and fight it and hit it and pave my way through this wall. If I have to pave my way through this wall bleeding, I will pave my way through this wall bleeding. I will come out on the other side bleeding, but I will overcome. You have to resolute within yourself like that. And it's going to be a process. It is not going to be all of a sudden I'm going to arrive there. No, it's going to be a process. So this this video is getting long, but I'm just going to round up. I don't care what's going to come after this video. The perceptions, what people are going to say, yada yada yada. I don't really care. I'm concerned about the young girls and even the young men as well who have been sexually abused, because there's a lot of young men, mind you. They might be forming, nothing they do me, but there are a lot of young men that have been sexually abused, introduced to it, manipulated into it. In fact, so many things. A lot of things are happening, and none of us don't want to speak on it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody's just like, well, life goes on. Life doesn't go on like that. And that's what I want to do. I want to highlight these things, and I don't really want to really pay attention to what's going to come for me. I want to highlight this issue and bring light to it. To my victims, you need to fight. I need to pray about it as well. In the Bible, I think there was this story on Dinah. Um, Maybe some other time I would dissect it. I would dissect it greatly. But trauma damages people. It does, and people don't know that. It destroys people. And one thing I will not on my watch, by the grace of God, not on my watch. I'm not going to watch anybody get damaged. Not on my watch. And I'm not trying to act all powerful and great and all know it all, but there are more things that you need to care about than your own self many times. And these are the things. Uncles and aunties are sexually abusing their cousins. Cousins are sexually abusing their fellow cousins. Brothers and sisters are acting like brothers and sisters, but they're sexually abusing themselves. In secondary schools, young boys are introduced to pornography. In secondary schools, girls are entering relationships, and they're getting introduced to sex at an early age. The culture, the society has promoted this thing of we have pushed this sex agenda, and it has destroyed so many lives. And nobody was there to stand up to speak on it in Africa and say, you know what, this there is more to this. Our identity is more to this. I'm not trying to say, I want to be the one to speak up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we need voices. We need voices who are brave enough not to care about their reputation. People who are brave enough to say, this has to stop. So, if you've been sexually abused, fight it. It seems like it's like an easy solution. Or, lady, why are you just saying it as if it's easier saying that? It is not easy. Fight it. You're going to grin, you're going to bite your teeth, it's going to be hard, you're going to fall, in fact, it's going to be hard, but you will have to fight it. You have to fight it. You have to. And as much as you're fighting it with your own strength, you need to pray and ask God for a greater strength, a greater power. Yes, a greater power. I don't want to take this too long because it's 24 minutes. Maybe I will talk more on this sexual abuse, but fight it. Ask God to help you and fight it when you fall. If you fall, if you fight it today and you fall, you get up and you fight it again. Tomorrow you fight it again, you fall, you get up, you fight it again. That day you fall after fighting, you get up, you fight it again, like that. You don't quit. You don't get the opportunity to quit, because once you quit, depression is at the door, PTSD is at the door, suicide is at the door. In fact, your identity, the devil would destroy it and take it to -0. You would not recognize who you are anymore. Fight it. Tell yourself, I cannot quit. I don't have the opportunity to quit. I don't even want quitting to be an option. I will fight it. I will tell my story. I will overcome. And I will be a very bright light. I will be a very shaking light. A very bright light. I'm going to be that person. You need counseling. If you don't have access to it, treat your prayer like your counseling session. And now I'm repeating myself, so I'm going to round up. The girl in the case I highlighted needs counseling. She needs it. Many a times when I finish talking like this, I just it's worth it at the end of the day. It's worth it. So thank you all, and yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention, and I hope somehow this is able to challenge somebody, even if it's just one person. I'm fine with that. So yeah.